I got a few pretty interesting articles to cover with you guys, and then I also want to talk about something absolutely crazy at the end of this video, but I promise I am not going to be getting off topic right now. So let's go ahead and cover everything that you clicked the video for before I begin rambling my mouth. So the first article here is NVIDIA Blackwell and the GeForce RTX 50 series GPUs, the rumors, specifications, release dates, pricing, and everything that we know so far, quote unquote, updated April 19th, 2024. So basically a quick little rundown of what we got going on here. Obviously, unless you've been living under a rock, the 50 series of graphics cards are going to be between 30 and 70% better than the RTX 40 series of graphics cards. It really comes down to which graphics card you end up getting. The 70% is going to be with the 5090. I'm guessing we're going to get like a 50% bump in a 5080 and that kind of stuff. We're also going to be getting a lot of improvements when it comes down to ray tracing and path tracing. And then lastly, and obviously, is artificial intelligence. We're going to be getting a lot of artificial intelligence improvements with the 50 series of graphics cards from NVIDIA, but that's really all I need to say. There's a couple of quick little jump to areas in this article. It says TSMC, the 4NP, refined 4 nanometer. We don't really need to go over that. The next generation GDDR7, which that's supposedly going to be going into full force and full effect in 2025. The Blackwell architecture and the updates to that kind of stuff. Obviously, this is going to be NVIDIA's, like, I don't want to say uniqueness because that's not the word I'm attempting to think of, but they're NVIDIA's whatever ideas. So the RTX 50 series pricing, I do want to say that I do think that this sarcasm and outrageous, like, price hikes that people like toss out there, unfortunately, I'm gonna actually kind of agree with that. I think that the 5090s MSRP is going to be right around $2,000, and then it's actually like what we're going to actually be paying is going to be like right around 2,500, maybe 3,000. And I know that that sounds like a lot, but look, man, I just don't. I don't even think the 4090 is worth it for gaming. You know what I mean? I'm fully aware that there's going to be a lot of people that say, oh, the 4090 is a great gaming GPU. Obviously, it is a great gaming GPU. But if you honestly feel as though you accomplishing 4K 80 FPS with a 4090, maxed out with ray tracing, all the wonderful things, and if you find paying $2,000 to get that when the 4080 that is literally $1,000 less is like 10 or 20 FPS less, like, dude, if you find 20 FPS worth $1,000, great for you, awesome. But dude, the 5090 and the 4090, they're graphics cards that they're intended for people that are using them for work and that kind of stuff. They're not intended for people that want to play Black Myth Wukong at 4K 80 FPS instead of 4K 60 FPS. But this right here, this is very interesting to me. And then I also want to say that lastly, they are going to be, apparently the 5090 is going to be running off an 850 watt power supply, which I think is great, because all that means is that everybody that got a 1200 watt power supply for the 4090, now your 5090 is going to be running honky-dory. Real quick, just wanted to say that if you would like a PC from me, my Facebook business page is linked down in the description below. I do not charge you anything other than the cost of parts, which I do in fact give you a full list of everything with the final cost before I order it all with my own money. You do not pay me anything until you see the video, the performance, the benchmarks, and all of that kind of stuff. So again, link down in the description below. All right, I'm going to go ahead and ignore my camera here. So ARM is going to be the next competitor with NVIDIA. And I'm saying this because, dude, I watched a podcast with Bloomberg, and look, this is not a negative statement about AMD. I like AMD. I support them and what they are doing. This is not a negative statement, and I unfortunately need to say this because even the slightest negative, tiniest little negative statement about AMD, oh boy, you're starting World War IV, okay? Or World War III. I'm stupid. I'm living like 1,000 years in the future. Is because AMD is set to do $4 billion sales, 4 billion in something. It was 4 billion something. It's either 4 billion CPUs or 4 billion in sales. And I'm guessing it's 4 billion in sales, because 4 billion in CPUs would like equal out to like 100 billion, which is literally what NVIDIA is aimed at. So we got 4 billion with a B, like 4B, billion, like billion, okay? Billion. There's a big difference between 4 billion, or yeah, 4 billion and 4 million, okay? So I want you to remember that, and I'm saying this because NVIDIA is set to do 100 billion. 100 billion. Now, if we were saying 4 million to 100 million, that's obviously a massive difference. But dude, billion, like a billion, that's a million every time you go up. Like, dude, do you understand how do you see how like much of a difference every time you go up a billion? We're literally 96 billion more than AMD. NVIDIA is set to do 100 billion. AMD is set to do 4. There is a big difference between these two companies, man. So I'm saying this because ARM is really, I don't want to say it's in it, because I mean it technically is, but it's being very innovative, or however you want to pronounce that word, which I'm sure I'm mispronouncing. And so it's really the first thing that's like been different, if that makes, it's the first thing, like, so like back, I know dude, all right, let's go over this really quickly to enter all right, so this is actually very self-explanatory. That's literally what this entire article is about, is it's going to be releasing in 2025, and then this is going to be a part of the last, and it's nothing to do with the Google Pixel. I mean, it kind of is, but it's more so about other stuff in the tech space. So man, I should have just freaking did it. I'm so bad at, or so good at forgetting. Oh, the innovation. So we have it like back in my day, quote unquote, like the Super Nintendo was so much different than the Sega Genesis, which those two were obviously way different than the 8-bit, the NES, and then the Mega Drive. And then we moved into the Nintendo 64, which like, it was just so obvious between the platforms, like the Dreamcast, the PS1, the Nintendo 64, they were all like so different. And then we moved into the PS2 and the Xbox, and then the GameCube, and they were all so different, especially the freaking GameCube and the Nintendo 64. Those controllers were like freaking, dude, oh my god. And then we moved into we got into the PS3 and the Xbox 360, and ever since that time frame, like everything in the tech space is kind of, at least like from the computer and gaming side of stuff, it's kind of all been remained the same. And I'm not talking about improvements, I'm talking about like the difference. Like obviously we're seeing performance increases, but we're not, I'm gonna let this scroll down here just in case I get too far off topic here. So we haven't really seen, the only thing that I'm thinking of is either augmented reality and then virtual reality. Those are like the two like big, like boom, like oh my goodness, there's a big difference going on right now. Those are like really the two big things that have happened. But with ARM, we haven't seen like a significant jump in improvement as far as like integrated graphics goes and that kind of stuff. And with the way AI is coming, which is why I'm sharing this article right now on the Google, which is going to lead into the next like topic, is when these processors that are very heavily focused on AI. So for those of you that did not read this article right here, basically what this is saying is that the Tensor G4 that's running in the Pixel 9 series is not designed to beat things that are going to be either in the S25 or the new iPhone 16, I think is what I'm not an iPhone user, so I don't know. they're not meant to like give you these crazy benchmark numbers. They're intended to be used for the artificial intelligence side of stuff. And why that's a big deal is because look at DLSS and what that does to your frame rate. That's artificial intelligence, dude. It's like, it takes like, it literally reduces the amount of power that your freaking graphics card is consuming. And you get like better performance with it. So that's artificial intelligence, man. So with these ARM chips and these new AI freaking CPUs, which is leading into the AMD stuff, they are, I'm not going to get into the, because I'll get way too far off topic and the video's already long. So you see where I'm getting at. But now is like the big thing. Dude, I watched a video from Vice the other day. Dude, imagine, so you think like nuclear bombs and these like big bombs that could like destroy the planet Earth. You think that's dangerous? Imagine holding your phone and it just exploding in your face as you're using it as an act of terrorism. Or your computer sitting over there, just randomly, like literally somebody intentionally catching your, or overloading your power supply so that your computer catches on fire and burns your house down. Or how about while you're driving a Tesla, somebody hacking your car and driving you into a deer. Or your TV. Like, actually, I don't know what your TV could do to you. Whatever. Exploding glass at your face. So like, hold on. And before anybody says that, oh, I don't download any malware, or I don't download any virus. Let me tell you, do you know what Bluetooth signals are? Okay. Pretty sure if you're watching this video, you're fully aware of what a Bluetooth signal is. So what about your security camera outside that somebody like sends a signal to in order to trap a virus in your camera? And then you go to load up your security thing on your phone and boom, now your phone has a virus in it. Or how about somebody sends a whatever signal to your Tesla or something. So dude, anyway, so the reason I'm talking about this is I saw this video on the cyber war. And it was about this place over in Iran where these like hackers took this like, it was like a unique virus where it was controlling the factories, like like, oh my goodness, bro, it's actually annoying me that I can't explain this. Hold on. Are you kidding me? So it's right here it is. This is the video. Woo. All right, so this is what I was watching. So this is the guy that was trying to...
kept us digging, kept us looking, until basically November, when we finally figured out that this thing was indeed sabotage on facilities.
Well, it's
was
severe. Newly elected president.
for the computer.
City community.
Anyways, I don't want to steal his video. But, so anyways, the reason I was talking about, or I wanted to share that, dude, is just like, can you imagine? Like, can you imagine that? Like, people, you think like nuclear weapons and stuff are bad, bro. Like, this is like, this is crazy stuff. I don't know. I thought that was the just craziest, interesting thing ever. Like, and that was the first thing that popped into my mind was a security camera. Like, people might think that, this camera's really freaking aggravating me. I don't know why I'm all of a sudden having to adjust all this stuff. It's honestly pretty irritating. And now I can't even remember where I was going because I was focused on something else. I'm going to go ahead and end the video. Let me know what you guys think about all this stuff down in the comment section below. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.